Hey there, it's Joy Duling from the Joy of Membership, and this is the Member Experience Advantage. I'm so glad you're here with me to share a few minutes out of your week. So, today I want to tell you a story about a recent visit that I took to the gym. Now, before all of this coronavirus, quarantining, self isolating stuff started, I had gotten into a pretty good rhythm of going to the gym in the morning and meeting my niece there. And we would do our workout together. And it was really great at kind of keeping me on track and just having somebody there expecting me to be meeting them in the morning made sure that I actually got myself out of bed and got there to the gym. But this one particular day, I was working out and I was doing the machine kind of alongside my niece. And I moved to a particular machine and I found that my legs were too short to make the machine work properly. And so I started trying to move the seat, and the seat would not budge. And I kept trying, I was like jiggling it, and I'm like, looking for a lever to make it move. And I pushed forward, I pushed backwards. I was completely not able to get this machine to adjust. And I finally gave up. And my niece was going to that machine next. And I said, "Oh, don't bother. That seat is stuck and it won't move." So, obviously she's young. She's not going to listen to her old aunt. So she goes to the machine anyway, and she messes with it for a little bit, and poof, all of a sudden it moves. I mean, it took her a little oomph to do it. It's kind of like when someone gives you a jar, or you try to, open a jar and it won't budge, and then you hand it to someone else, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, well, that was easy. It just pops right off." I have a feeling the same thing happened with this. But the whole point of the story is that I gave up. I wrestled with this task and I could not get the seat to move. I decided in my brain it was impossible and I moved on. And the same thing happens in life, in business, in our organizations. Sometimes we are up against something that feels impossible. And so, rather than, continuing to try to find a solution, we just go, well, it's impossible. So it would be futile to continue trying to force it to move. But as I reflected back on that situation, there were at least three ways that I could have handled this situation differently. First of all, I had seen other people using this machine. I knew that it ought to work. So I could have paid closer attention to what other people were doing to make the machine work instead of just assuming that when I got to the machine that it would work for me. So if I had paid attention to what they were doing, maybe I would have noticed that, oh, there's this other lever that's kind of hidden. And if you pull it out in just the right way, then that's what makes the seat go, forward and backward. So that's the first thing I could have done. I could have paid more attention to what other people were doing that was working. The second thing I could have done is when I got on the machine and I realized it wasn't working for me, I could have asked for help. There were lots of staff available at the gym who obviously are experts, and I could have simply asked someone why I couldn't get the seat to move. It probably would have taken them 30 seconds to help me. I would have broken through the problem and been able to move on and get that part of my workout done. I didn't do that. So that's the second thing I could have done differently. And then the third thing is I could have been more open minded about the fact that I was wrong in my assessment of the problem. I mean, I told my niece, don't even bother. It's hopelessly stuck. Now, thankfully, she didn't listen to me. She found the solution herself. But so often we get stuck with a problem and we get stuck in our thinking that we discourage others from thinking that there's a possible solution as well. So, if you apply these three things to leading a membership organization, and especially leading a membership organization in the current circumstances that we're facing, because there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of worry in the market about economics. There's a lot of worry about, are members going to continue to invest in organizations? What activities should we be offering? Should we not be offering? What if people don't rejoin? Are we going to have to make staff cuts? All of those things that we are all up against can feel sometimes like problems are impossibilities, that the barriers are so great we can't possibly get past them. And some organizations are going to give up. Now, instead of giving up and saying, okay, this is a problem that we can't solve until the economy gets better, or this is a problem that we can't solve until something magically happens. If you look at the three lessons from the gym, you can say, okay, there are other organizations, even in this uncertain time, that are thriving. And what are they doing that seems to be working? You can look around and seek experts, who has been through this sort of situation before, who could actually be a resource to you and help you solve the problems that you're facing. And then thirdly, just not getting psychologically stuck in the fact that there is a barrier. There will be all sorts of opportunities that emerge from this uncertain period. It's just a matter of staying open-minded and watching for them. So that is my message for you this week. I hope you find it helpful. I hope it just triggers some maybe different thoughts about what your organization is going through right now. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you back here next week, same time, same place. Take care.